3 up, 2 across, tap that play button 3 times, and walk through the archway into Dialogue Alley. Hello and welcome to Dialogue Alley, a podcast about Harry Potter books, book translations, and all other things magical. I am Erik.
I'm Carly.
And I'm Melanie.
And we are Harry Potter book translation collectors. We love Harry Potter books, and we collect them, and we talk about them, and we have a podcast about them, and we have Instagram pages about them. It's kind of like what we do, which is why we're here.
Couldn't have said it better if I tried.
Yep, very concise.
Yeah. Well, in our notes, it always says who we are and what we do. And that
I know that. I've read those.
Right?
I've read those exact words.
That's right. That's right. When Carly did the intro one time, and she just said who we are and what we do.
And I couldn't figure out why everyone was laughing.
And then we laughed.
Because Carly is Ron Burgundy, and she reads exactly as the teleprompter says. I'm Ron Burgundy.
That's why I never read the introduction, in case anyone wonders. It goes badly.
Yes. So, happy June, everyone. We're recording on June 1st. So we did it. We're like in the June month.
Wow.
This year's gone fast. It's June. I know. Because it's June, we have a pretty special episode today with our main segment. So I guess we'll talk about that momentarily. But before that, we're just going to get into a teeny bit of news. It's really not a lot. So we're not even going to have a transition. I'm just going to tell you the news right now. So the first little bit of news is that Carly picked up the 25th anniversary Sorcerer's Stone. I think you're the first one of us three that has gotten it. I know a few people that we know have picked it up, but I have not. Melanie, have you?
No, I think I'm going to go on my lunch break tomorrow. And
they still had first print, so I feel better. And it actually does say, it doesn't say it's the 25th anniversary on the copyright page. It just says this edition 2023.
That's so lame.
Like, they should have just put a sticker on the front.
Well, it was funny because the girl checking me out, she was like, oh, it's amazing what a little bit of foiling will do on the cover. And I said, this is for the 25th anniversary. Scholastic could have done so much better. And she was like, I didn't realize it was the 25th anniversary. She was like, I'm suddenly disappointed. It's like, yeah, now that you know.
Most people should be when they realize that. Yeah.
Like, it never dawned on her that's what these were for, because there's not a big to-do about it. There's no signage. They're literally just, here's the 25th anniversary, here's the 20th anniversary, and here is the regular books, just over here on this, all on the same table.
I'd be curious if there was more hoopla when, like, the first Fantastic Beasts script came out. Like, you could buy it as a book, because there probably was some more
I'm pretty sure
hoopla.
There was.
I'm sorry.
Also, I like your use of the word hoopla.
I'm lingering on the fact that you said hoopla. For those of you who don't know, we went on like a 20-minute tangent before we started recording, just all about SpongeBob. So now that's all I'm thinking is hoopla. Yeah.
Hoopla. Yeah. Now all I'm thinking of is when they do the bubbles and it's like a different animal. It's an elephant. Patrick's like, haha, it's a giraffe. It's so stupid, but it's so funny.
I love when they go jellyfishing.
What a great show. We should just have a side spin-off podcast about
SpongeBob episodes. Just recapping every SpongeBob episode.
Great show.
Oh, it's so good.
But that's not part of our news. Minor news. Melanie and I are still playing Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. We don't have to talk a lot about it, but I'm so into it. I found the Master Sword. I was like telling Melanie, I'm like, this is insane. I just randomly found it. It was insane.
Oh, that's awesome.
I thought I like cheated, and I looked it up after I got it. I was like, how do you get the Master Sword? And way number 3 is like, you just find it randomly, and I did.
All right, so don't tell me how you got it, because we don't have it yet.
Yeah, I won't.
We do have the Hylian shield, though, which is cool.
Oh, I don't have that. Did you just randomly find that, or did you do stuff to get it?
No. We found it. Just
okay.
like look around. You'll find it.
I'll look around. And like when I looked up how to get the Master Sword, like ways 1 and 2, like there are 2 ways where they'll like tell you where it is if you do these certain things. But you can just find it wherever it is if you happen to just find it. But I was close to like way number 2 like doing all the things where they would have been like, oh, it's over there.
Okay.
So I was like on the right track. I just found it like maybe
I hope we do it that way because we have
probably an hour earlier.
We have been like looking some stuff up, like minor things. I think just if we get stuck on like certain shrines or something, like we look it up. We did that with Breath of the Wild too, so I'm not like too down about it. We also will probably like reference something for shrine locations just to make sure that we get them all.
Yeah, I do that. I do that once I like finish the main thing. I'm like, I've looked everywhere. I need to know where the rest of the shrines are.
We'll probably do that as well. Like once we're to the point, I just want to get us to the point where like we have shrines pretty well covered on the map so we could like get everywhere we need to be getting. Because right now we're literally just horseback riding and going up to the top of the tower and floating down to places to get everywhere. So
I do that too.
It's fun.
No, it's so fun. I still get the giggles like day 1 or 2 playing, and like you'd get all the alerts like when people would sign on to Nintendo Switch Online, and it would be like, Melanie's playing Tears of the Kingdom, Tyler's playing Tears of the Kingdom, Matt's playing Tears of the Kingdom, Soken's playing Tears of the Kingdom, Sarah's playing Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, I saw
and then,
you.
like,
I saw you.
Get the one
yesterday.
alert. You get the one alert where it's like, bing, like Jason is playing Atari Collection 50 plus. I'm
what
like,
are you doing?
What's wrong with you? Like,
right
what
now?
are you doing? What are you doing?
Listen,
no.
I still have to check in.
Splatoon 3 got like a major update, and I love that game too. And I'm like, I'm not even touching that thing. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, I still am checking in on my Disney Dreamlight Valley. Like, I check in like once a day, but there hasn't been. There's the next big update isn't for another like probably another like week or so. So I have nothing to do except like check out Scrooge's, see if anything's for sale. If there's anything new, like whatever new stuff, like I do that. It literally takes me 5 minutes. I do that. Like, so other than that, I've got nothing to do in the game until there's another update. So that's it. Until then,
all right,
it's
there's
Zelda. Zelda time.
There's your Nintendo update. We had a Disney update last episode, so here's our Nintendo update. But back to Harry Potter updates. I got a book. I got the Prisoner of Azkaban Scholastic Mass Market paperback. We actually found this book. Melanie did. The one that I'm holding when we were looking up that episode where how many books could we get to start a good collection for under $100.
Awesome.
And Melanie found this one while we were searching, and it was like $5-6 free shipping. And it's really, really great. It's the last of the 3 mass market paperbacks, so they only have the first 3 books. This is the only one that has the like original cover on the front. The first 2 just have like chapter art. And so this one's kind of like the outlier. The first 2 books are very similar. The third one is different. The spines look similar, but the cover is the just regular Grand Prix.
And the sparkly.
But it's got the sparkliest sparkles.
It's the best.
The only book like sparklier than this one is, Melanie, fill in the blank.
I was gonna. Is it the Malaysian? Is that what you're thinking of?
No.
Really? Isn't
No.
that the one that I'm thinking of? The Malaysia one.
No, because the correct answer is Korean.
Oh, so sorry.
New translation.
Korean.
Hardcover, books 1 and 2 combined.
That's not like sparkly though. That's like shiny. It's not like glittery.
But
this
it's
is like
rainbow. But it's like a rainbow
it's
shine.
iridescent.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's iridescent. This is like glittery.
Yeah, I suppose.
This is like glitter. It looks sparkly.
It looks very like 90s, early 2000s. That like any sticker you'd get from like Taco Bell in that machine. You'd like go to Taco Bell and put in a quarter and you get like that big shiny sticker that you'd put on like your notebook or something. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's my little book pickup, which goes to show that a $5 book can bring you lots of joy, and it's really, really cool. So if you don't have this, I'll put pictures on my page. We should probably put a picture of this somewhere else.
Oh, it's so cool.
Pictures don't really do it justice because it's so shiny. And it's really great. And it's a cool thing for your collection, and it's cheap. So
Get it.
Voila.
Get it.
Get it. And I think we got it. I think we got all the news.
for our main segment today, as Erik kind of alluded to before, today, as we record this episode, it is June 1st, and June is a very important month, and we wanted to acknowledge Pride Month by kind of doing like a Pride-inspired main segment. So, what we are doing is we are going to create a book cover rainbow. What do you guys think about the books that I picked? Because I picked, like, I just literally sat here, I looked at my shelves and was like, there are so many different colored spines, and this is something like Carly had mentioned. She was like, ooh, let's do this book with this one for red. And it has a red spine, but the cover itself isn't. So, like, I put all of the books out with all of their covers and tried to pick ones that boldly showed clearly that color. And I think what's cool to mention about it is, like, we talk so much about, like, the cover art, and usually it's such ornate imaging that you don't necessarily, like, attribute a color to a book cover. So the ones that I tried to pick are ones that are, like, very specifically, solidly that color. So,
I love all the books you picked for that. I think it's great.
Well, like, an example would be, like, when I think of a blue book, I think of Order of the Phoenix.
Same.
Scholastic.
Oh, sure.
Like, I remember getting that book in the mail day one, opening it up and being like, "Whoa, this book is blue."
I remember that.
I didn't think about that for any of the first four. I'm like, "Oh, look, there's a picture on the front." Like, I got book 5 and I said, "Whoa, this is a blue book."
Yeah. I feel like we
that?
kind of all kind of think that way about the US books. Like, in my head, I'm like, Half-Blood Prince is green and Order of the Phoenix is orange.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
like,
exactly.
Right.
For those exact reasons, I did not pick any U.S. books in this rainbow.
No, and I think that's very appropriate because our podcast is about translation. So I think it's great we picked different ones. And, like, even just looking at my shelf before we recorded, there are so many different colors in these books. So, like, it wasn't hard. I mean, it was hard to, like, pick a great one, but I'm like, wow, I have, like, 5 books that are yellow on the front. So I know some people organize their shelves in rainbow order.
I love that.
Seen people
I
do
have.
that?
It's so cool. I just can't handle that.
It looks amazing, but it would stress me out beyond belief.
1,000%. I couldn't do it.
That they're out of order.
Especially,
like, but visually, it just looks so cool.
Especially knowing that there are certain books that have, like, a colored spine, and then the book is, like, completely different.
Right.
Oh, the people that are listening in live are trying to guess what red is going to be. All right, I want to see what they think. What do you think it's? All right, the guesses for red is Oh, okay. So the guess for red was Asturian, which I did not pick for red because it has a red spine, but it has a different color on the cover. For red, I picked the new Estonian Order of the Phoenix. Hold on. I have all of them, like, behind me. Hold please. I'll just pile them next to me, and then that'll solve all of this chaos. Okay, so yeah, for the red book, I picked Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, and this is the new Estonian cover.
Such a good red.
It is such, like, a rich red, and literally the entire book is this bold red. The font is in, like, a yellowish color, which that's the font color for the whole set. But I know I feel like, I don't know if we talked about it as a translation of the show or kind of just, like, talked about it. It had to have been a TOTS. I don't know. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But what's so cool about these books is it's a matte finish book, and then it has all of these detailing in, like, a high gloss, and it's just so nice.
It's like the hardcover equivalent of all of the Bosnian books.
Yes, I was just thinking that.
And they just, like, took, like, what made, I mean, the art on the Bosnian books are awesome, but it just took, like, the way the cover was finished on all the Bosnian books, and they're like, oh, let's do this in a hardcover and make it awesome. And they did. So
I love that. So cool. I love those books.
And I just like that it's also in like a deep, rich red. So like it really just took like the color of the book, made it like 3 shades darker of a red, and then high glossed all the little details. It's just so cool. And also like we're not doing a tots of each of these rainbow books, but like this book is huge.
Look at how big. That's like Croatian book 5.
Big book.
That is a big, big, beefy book. I love it.
Especially considering like how thin the American Prey Estonian is.
Oh, it's just so cool. I love this book. But I thought fun choice for red.
Absolutely. Which, according to Roy G. Biv, is the first color in the rainbow.
That's what they say. Oh my God.
Although we're not doing Roy G. Biv because we're not doing indigo violet. We're just doing purple.
No, yeah. I have indigo violet. I was not.
What, you do? No way.
I was not messing around.
Oh my gosh, yes you do.
I was not messing around.
Yes, you were not messing around.
I was not messing around. I did indigo violet for sure.
You did Roy G. Biv, which...
I was not going to let down...
I read a book once where it's like a person.
Was not going to let down Roy.
Oh, good. I read a book and there was like a cartoon of a person. He's like, hi, I'm Roy G. Biv. And like it just burned into my brain. Like, that's the rainbow. Roy G. Biv. There he is.
There's Roy.
It's like waving.
Got him. Okay. Orange. You glad that I picked this book for our orange book?
Yeah, because if you picked the Russian Metropolis Orange book that we talked about a few weeks ago, I would have like flipped my table over.
I knew it, so I didn't want to pick that. So for orange, represent orange in our rainbow, I picked Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. This is what I always call these the modern editions. It's a very bold font. This reminds me of the font. It was called Impact. And I used to use it like to title all of my posters on my projects in middle school. It's like a very cool, like bold modern font. But these books are known for being like these solid, crazy bright colors. The paperbacks feature the color on the front, whereas the hardcovers, the front are black and white and the spine has all of the color. So the paperback of Goblet is a super, super neon bright, beautiful orange. Erik?
These all like really pop. Like I'm holding the Azkaban, which is green, and it's like green. So if you like colorful books and you want one set of colorful books,
and they're I love
these. They're so popping.
And the book, like the box set, is pretty fun too.
It's a beautiful box. I mean, you can't go wrong in hardcover or paperback. I think the hardcovers look so nice.
I've got both.
Yeah, I know. I had to have both. I
they
think
are in my
awesome.
house now. How cool is that? They're just not set up, but they are here. They're under the roof.
Perfect. Yeah, this is such a cool set to get. So I love this. Ooh, I love everyone that's like listening in live is like kind of guessing what we're picking.
Oh, how fun.
Well, spoiler alert, if you guys follow me on TikTok, I posted this. I posted this on TikTok today. Okay. So,
which is magically Melanie, not magically... What did I say last time?
You said magical Melanie, magical...
No, I said like magically...
I don't know. You were a goof. It's
like I said the wrong name at the end. I'm like, I'm sure her account's good too.
Nice. That's perfect. Oh, Magically
Melly. That's
adorable.
Magically Melly. Also, probably a great account. I don't know. Who knows?
All right. Brock says blind guesses only. All right. So awesome choice for orange. Even though, like, I always think U.S. Deathly Hallows for orange. That's like the orange book that comes right to my mind. Oh, I had to like actively avoid picking that one. So. Thought this was a cool one. All right, so that is orange. All right, any last guesses for yellow? I saw some. Yellow, there were 2 books that I thought of for yellow. One of them was Spanish / Basque / whatever for Philosopher's Stone. Yellow kind of like sticks out. The other one, that was the one that I ended up picking, was this guy.
Such a good one.
I ended up picking Italian.
Good choice.
I thought it was a good choice. The one specifically that I'm holding is the First Date Italian, which has Harry without little glasses on, and it has a little pre-movie font. Oh, this is like turning into like a fun little competition. Like everyone's like guessing. This is a lot of fun.
I just love the perplexed look on his face with the rat hat. You can't beat that.
He probably wonders why the rat's there too.
Yeah, there's a lot of books that are like yellow and then orange, and then there's some that are like yellow-orange. So I feel like it's hard to pick one that's not.
I don't know. I thought that this was like a nice,
mix,
like creamy
I think
yellow.
Spanish
I like
is
it.
very yellow, especially the hardcover one. So it's got the thick yellow border around the outside.
Yeah, I feel like yellow.
But that's really not like in the art. That's like just a border. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It just like gives off the vibe. I just feel like this gives off like yellow vibes.
I agree.
I don't know. But yeah, obviously this is like it's one of the weirdest covers that exists. It's also one of my absolute favorite covers that I own. My book in particular, it's one of those like, I would call it like an Erik book. Like it's so well loved. Like the pages are literally taped in. I'm pretty sure a little kid took crayon and like colored on some of the pictures in it. Like I'm obsessed with this book.
I love that.
I love it. My jacket's in amazing shape. I feel like that's half the battle with this book is the jacket's got to be good.
Like I giggle at that I take good care of my books, right? But like whenever Peter shows his library, it's got like the glass case of all the books, which is great. But I'm like, yeah, those aren't the ones that I want. I want the ones that are like left out by a tree.
Yeah.
For a week.
I know, honestly, it's just like there's something like awesome about having a book that like someone loved so much. Like, I'm about it.
Well, yeah, and it's different if I'm thinking about, like, I don't know, like, baseball cards, or if I was, like, a Pokemon card person. Like, I wouldn't want those to look like they would be, like, used and loved. I'd want those, like, crisp. So it's weird that I don't have that same, I guess, criteria for books. I mean, I'd like it to be nice condition if possible, but
everybody's
not bent
got
out of
their own
shape if it's
thing,
not
you know?
at all.
Everybody's got their own thing. You just run your own race. I love it.
Yellow House Edition Hufflepuff. Yeah,
I thought about it. That.
That's pretty bold.
That is yellow. That is yellow. But nah, I went with a little bit more outside the box. Okay. Next in the rainbow.
I don't think we picked any house editions.
I did
right?
not.
I think we did.
I did not. Spoiler alert. I did not. Green is not a Slytherin House Edition book. It is also not a German book. It is
I love this one. I've been so excited about it. I was thrilled when this book came in the mail. I loved the green of this Romanian book.
Yeah. That's Sean just hit the nail on the head with that. Good job, bud. Yeah. This is the new Romanian, the second translation Romanian, Chamber of Secrets. Did you know that the cover art that is featured in the middle of this cover was Johnny Duddle? Erik just quit the podcast.
I can't believe it. What an idea.
Amazing. It's just,
that was...
Just zoom
I don't know that you'll ever not get teased on that, Erik.
That's fine. I can handle
that. I love that. That's like one of my favorite like podcast inside jokes is that Erik had no idea that it was just the Johnny Duddle cover art just zoomed in for the Romanian covers.
Like zoomed way in.
But to his defense, like looking at it from afar, I feel like it would be like a little bit tricky to pinpoint that it is Johnny Duddle because majority of the cover is like a color. So...
Yeah, not the art.
Right, like book 1 is a dark purple. Book 2 is this deep, rich, beautiful emerald green. 3 is blue. 4 is like a denim blue. 5 is like a dark red. 6 is a bright red. And 7 kind of is like a navy. So they're all very like bold colors, which take up majority of the cover itself. So yeah, this I feel like definitely screams green for sure.
I love this book. I'm thrilled you picked it.
I also I don't even think I ever realized that the boards match the cover, which is really cool too. I love that. That's really neat. So that's a cool little like X factor of this book. Erik pulled out his guess for blue.
That's what someone else just guessed, and I'm like, that's the first one that I thought of.
It's
so
not.
When I looked at the one you picked, I was like,
in case y'all didn't know, I love that book.
If you hold it like this.
You know what's funny is that's not the one that I originally grabbed either. For blue, I originally grabbed Bulgarian, the 20th anniversary Bulgarian of Prisoner of Azkaban. That was my original grab, but I had a special request and pulled this beautiful little book. So
I wonder who requested that.
So Carly did a special request for blue that we do Asturian, which Asturian is really, I feel like anytime I think of it, it's just like sharp primary colors.
Oh, I know. I love the color palette for this
It's
book.
a very, like, the blue is very blue.
Yeah.
I know.
The blue is blue. And the spine is red.
Blue.
That's
a Dialogue Alley hot take. The blue is
It is like a nice royal blue. David is like, you guys talk about Asturian in every episode.
I probably do.
Because, like, how beautiful
and if it's not
is
Asturian, if it's not Asturian, it's the 20th anniversary Lithuanian, which Erik just covered. So I'm set for both right now.
I know. Good choices.
We mentioned this before we kicked this off. Like, if you like colorful books in general, there are so many Harry Potter translations that just have pops of color that you can add to your shelf. So, like, there's that. I know we're gonna miss some that you're like, obviously it should be this one, but
yeah. And there's so many good contenders. Like, really, there's so many great great books that have these colors as some of their primary colors, or a great version of the color, but
well, I have an idea, and I will share it at the end once we get through our books. So Remind me to share my idea.
Oh, okay. I will remind you. We have 2 more books because we acknowledge all colors of the rainbow. And
Roy G. Biv. And
for indigo, I picked, and this is kind of like, this is a hot take on indigo. I feel like this is like a lighter indigo. It's slightly a stretch, but I feel like it works. I picked Japanese Goblet of Fire.
I love that.
Yeah, it's like kind of like a periwinkly indigo. Like, it's a lighter choice for indigo, but I feel like Japanese, one of my favorite things that they do is like they consistently do like book 1 is this color, book 2 is this color, book 3 is this color, and it's like that for every version. Like, these books are like that. The smaller hardcover, I guess, anniversary books are the same color palette, and those paperbacks that are like my favorite size and proportion books, those have the same coordinating colors as well. So I don't know. I think it's so cool. Japanese definitely needed a shout out for this beautiful indigo color. I think it's just so good.
Oh, especially like the back of all the Japanese books, the hardcovers, like it's just the solid color.
Yep.
You can't get more color than the solid color
and
on the back.
That's
another Dialogue Alley hot tip.
They're also just so like, it's cool abstract art. I feel like these ones they're just very abstract. It's particularly Goblet of Fire. Is you have to really look at it to kind of figure out what the picture is. Like, I don't like this one. It took me a while to kind of like figure it out. So, yeah, really cool. Oh my gosh, I'm honestly, I am kind of bummed that there's only one book left. This has been really fun. I love the guesses.
Yeah. I've enjoyed the banter back and forth.
I will be honest. I was looking for a particular shade of violet for this book. So we'll chat about this like first before people like start guessing what Violet is going to be. Let's see I want to see what some people said, because this is a fun one. Lighter indigo, violet. Let's see. French Room of Requirement, Half-Blood Prince.
That's a good one.
That's cool. That's a cool choice.
But that's a
not
good one.
it, but cool. I honestly feel like the one that I picked is cooler. Are you ready? I picked New Thai Order of the Phoenix. And if that book does not
really
give Violet vibes, like it's literally like the perfect shade of violet. It's just like, it's like that rich royal purple color. And literally the entire book kind of gives off those tones. Even you could see like, this is one of those covers you can kind of get lost in a little bit, right? So it has this orb, which is the prophecy, has these violet vibes in it. Even the thestral on the front is violet. All of the undertones on this, down to like Tonks's hair is represented as like perfectly violet. Oop, I just like bumped into my mic because I'm just so excited about how violet this book is.
It's turning violet.
Violet, you're turning violet. Even though I would,
which is a movie Carly's never seen that movie.
Have to.
I'm guessing
Carly,
it's not Rainbow Bright.
Carly, we need to have like a virtual watch party of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory just so you can see that movie.
Oh, I've never seen either one.
I know, but I just said that.
I saw a GIF today, or like, I don't know if it was a GIF, a meme, a TikTok, or whatever, but it was like, it
you
should
say
just...
GIF or GIF?
I always say...
Both are actually okay.
I feel like I go back, I switch back and forth.
I say
don't
GIF.
know. I feel like I say
German G.
I say GIF because doesn't the G stand for graphic?
Yes.
So that's why I say GIF.
I believe so. But I say GIF with the German hard G instead of GIF, because GIF makes me think of peanut butter.
But it is Ghirardelli chocolate and not Ghirardelli.
Yes, but phonetically, like it, and like the English language, historically, G, if it's followed by I, E, or Y, makes the J and not a G. Like the word giant. True. Or geranium. I don't know. But
some of those are loan words from other languages, so they're following their phonetics.
I don't
but then
know.
you got the word, Melanie.
But
Melanie,
like you can have
gift. GIFT.
English. When literally, as I'm learning Hooked on Phonics, they said this. This is like first grade Melanie brain is, G makes a short sound followed by I, E, or Y. And then someone will say something like, what about the word gift? And then the answer was just, English is a wackadoo language. Like that was the teacher's.
Just how we do
that was it. English is a wackadoo language.
Yeah, that's a poor answer though. It really depends on when the word entered the English language. If it's not historically from Germanic or English background, is the summary.
Okay, well, regardless, there was a GIF that I saw today, and it was like teachers at the end of the year and the mentality,
the discipline,
and then it's someone coming up saying like, he's drowning in the chocolate, and Willy Wonka just goes, help somebody. Like that's
like Mike TV. He's like getting up on the stage, and he's like, look at me, everyone. And he's like, stop, don't,
come back.
Stop, don't do that, come back.
I know. That's like teachers now. So that was the clip that I saw today. So I don't know. We got on that tangent because we were talking about Violet from Willy Wonka, right? And we're talking about Violet books. There were some beautiful honorable mentions, like Bulgarian. I did think of that one as well. But I don't know. This was more of like a violet purple. Like, I don't know. If I like Google the word violet, I always think of it as like a reddish purple. And I always think of indigo as like a bluish purple. So.
Yeah.
So that was the vibe.
Honestly, you do not have to justify anything holding up any of those tie
They're
books.
so
You just
good.
hold it up and everyone's like, I agree with you. That book's amazing.
Honestly,
Whatever you say, yeah, you're in.
Honestly, these books are like pretty perfect. I feel like I should have picked this book as the tots and we should have just gone right into it. However, today I picked a different translation of the show. But first we should probably talk about what Erik's idea was.
That's right. I had an idea. Because there are just so many of these books that come in so many different colors, everybody should make their own book rainbow for June and take a picture and tag us in it and tag MuggleNet in it, and we'll make sure that we share it on our Instagram page.
Totally. Oh, I love that idea.
Because there are so many fun book rainbows. So
like,
make
if
your
you
own
feel
book
like
rainbows.
we screwed up or didn't put the right books in or whatever, you want to do different ones, show us.
Or if you want to do it the spines, because that was something that we mentioned before too, and you want to do a book rainbow of your spines instead of the covers, would love to see those book rainbows. You could be like me and you can make a cute little tickety talk about your book rainbow. Just so many options. Yeah,
and you could tag
us.
Melanie on the TikTok, and then, that'd be really fun. I'd love to see what you guys put together.
You could Roy G. Biv, or you could just, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. You could simplify just a little bit if you wanted to. But yeah, like make your own rainbow and tag us in it, tag MuggleNet in it, and that would be outstanding.
I agree entirely. Well done, Erik.
And if you're missing a color, supplement it with a different object in your house, like an orange for orange.
Orange, orange, orange.
That's my favorite fruit to teach my new to English kids. I'm like, this fruit's an orange, just like the color. They're like, oh, okay, sounds good to me.
And this translation of the show is a good one. It is the French Junior Folio Goblet of Fire.
And why did we pick this one, Carly?
Well, not only does it have one of Erik's favorite colors to apparently say, which is orange, it has
not just to say, to look at. I love orange.
It has a wonderful rainbow on the spine, which goes with our everything today.
It has a rainbow on the spine, and all of these junior folios have like a rainbow down like this little side of the cover too. Like a perfect little rainbow.
It's really fun, and it just kind of really sticks out. It's a nice kind of eccentric feature of the French books. Or these French books anyway. Yeah.
Oui.
Ouais. And let's see. We've talked a bit about French, but we'll get into it a little bit. These books were translated by Jean-François Menard and published by Éditions Gallimard. The general info on the language: French is an official language in 29 countries across multiple continents. French is an official language in 29 countries across multiple continents. French is also one of 6 languages used in the United Nations. I've actually been to the UN building. It is spoken as a first language in descending order of the number of speakers: France, Canada, Belgium, Western Switzerland, parts of Luxembourg, parts of the United States, the states of Louisiana, Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont, Monaco, and the Aosta Valley in Italy, and many other communities. Very, very, very cool. And the French in those areas is very different. I love it. And because of our SpongeBob talk, as an aside, all I hear is, like, when I say I love it, I'm hearing it in SpongeBob saying I'm ready, and it's annoying in my head.
I love it. I love it. I love those boots.
Hey, Carly, check out my new boots.
Carly.
They're official book lovers boots. Check them out.
Fabulous. How did we get our copies? I actually had to get 2 different copies to get this edition, because the first one I got was from Thrift Books off eBay. And they put a giant sticker of an apple on Harry's head. And I was just like, who does that? And it said Thrift Books on it, so I know it was them.
Huh.
I was
lame.
just like, I emailed them back and was like, I've got to return this. You put a giant sticker on his face.
Oh. I definitely think I just got my book on eBay. I was like, I need all these books. I'm pretty sure I got it probably for like $5 on eBay. Like,
yeah, they're super easy to pick up. They're still super easy to pick up. I believe. I could be wrong, but I haven't looked in a bit. But
no,
I think they're still pretty easy to find.
Yes.
I do not have this book, and I'm okay with that. I don't need. I have the Room of Requirement set so I have all 7 books in French, and the covers are the same. There's just some minor details with all the original French art, like the size and then like the spine, but the image on the front more or less is the same. So I'm cool with just having the Room of Requirement set, and I don't need to get more French books with that art. Maybe the newer ones with the new art, but
I want the new art.
I'm satisfied with the French books I have. So
Très bien. What do we think about Rarity? Melanie and I were just kind of talking about it.
Yeah,
I would say like, yeah, you can find them easily on US and other, US based e-commerce sites like eBay, Amazon, and whatnot for like $5-10.
Yeah.
Well, and like in Canada, they just sell the French, like from France books. Like they don't publish them separately in Canada. So like these books exist in North America pretty commonly. The only snafu that I've encountered with buying French books is that because they're somewhat common, the picture doesn't necessarily match the book you're getting.
Yeah.
Or like the version of the book. Like you might be buying like specifically like the first book of the series, which has like pre-movie font, then there's internal illustrations, then there's the movie font. There's just different iterations of different books, and it's like not necessarily like really clear sometimes which one you're getting. So if you want like this specific one, it's still not hard to get. You might buy one thinking it's this and get one that's
I've done that a few times as well.
Not. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's what happened to all of us.
Yeah.
I would say the other snag that you can kind of run into with getting these that might make it slightly trickier to get these now is that there are newer cover arts that are available. These books came out with the original like Pottermore art. So those are ones like if you kind of just type in like French Harry Potter book into Amazon, I think those are the first ones that come up. And now we just have a brand new French cover art that just came out. So I feel like those are going to start cropping up a bit more as well. So it might be trickier to find this original art, but I still, as of right now, they are still around.
They made a lot. They released a lot of them. They had to have, and so
like every other language, by the time they got to this book, they made a lot.
Yeah, they're
exactly. So I'm not worried about it being hard to find for many, 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 many years, if ever. Value, we kind of touched on that a little bit. $5-10. Especially for these smaller ones. I will say you do have to be careful. They're not made overall, and we're going to get into that a little bit. So going back to you kind of what you're saying about bait and switch kind of things, especially with pre-movie. If you're trying to get a pre-movie font, it's very common to get post-movie because a lot of stock photos tend to be
but you don't get a pre-movie. But you don't get a pre-movie font for this book.
Particular book.
Well, that's
though.
also true. I was just like general French books in general because that's something I've ran into.
For the first couple of
years.
years.
You get books 1, 2, and 3 come with pre-movie font. Book 4 does not come with pre-movie font.
Yeah, that was just a general warning. 4 doesn't exist in pre-movie. That's a general warning that's really frustrating for a lot of people. But at least it's easy to find, so it's an easy fix typically. Rating scale, I think we should hop into that. Melanie, can you give it a smell?
Okay, hold please.
Hold for smelling.
Yeah.
Smelling in progress. That should be a soundbite that we have.
I feel like the sniffs in general are like nice little sound bites. I would give it an acceptable. It's honestly, it's pretty nice. I just feel like it's not really more than an acceptable.
I don't remember my any of my French books having outstanding
No,
smells.
none of
They didn't smell bad though either.
I definitely wouldn't say that it's outstanding. I don't know. It's like almost exceeds expectations.
I'll say acceptable because I don't remember anything bad about them. I don't remember anything overtly good. But, I mean, they could be changed. We'll find out when I get to my books and start putting them on shelves that I still have to find.
Can't wait.
Me too. Let's see. What do we think about the size and proportions of this little dude?
Oh my gosh,
And
outstanding.
to remind you guys, we're talking about the smaller pocket editions, not the big ones.
Yes, these are the junior folios with the little rainbow on the side. Size and proportions outstanding. I love the size of this book. And being that it's Goblet of Fire, it's a thicker book. But it's so small and cute. Like these French books are so little and cute. I love the French books so much because of that. That's one of my favorite things about them. Love it.
Honestly, yeah. Because I love the size and proportions, especially like as they go through the series, like books 1, 2, and 3, they're okay. 4 though, I love the size and proportions of 4.
Yeah, it's so nice because of how thick it is, and I feel like because of that, how it feels in your hands is also an outstanding.
I was about to say it goes very, very well with that.
Hand in hand, if you will. I like that for I don't know. Okay, the reason I'm changing it to an exceeds expectation is because the spine is very tight and it's not one of those
paperbacks. Which one are you changing?
I'm changing how it feels in your hand.
Okay.
Because it doesn't it's not one of those paperbacks that really flops open that you could kind of tuck the
Is
cover
your spine
behind.
Creased?
No. My spine's fine.
Okay. My spine. Wow. My spine.
Mine spine.
Mine spine.
Pardon me while I switched languages, apparently. I don't know which one.
To a made-up one.
Very
that we just created now.
Very possibly. So my spine is quite creased. It's the second one that I bought without the sticker on Harry's head, and it does flop open beautifully. That's why I love how it feels in my hand, so I will give it an outstanding.
Nice.
But I actually enjoyed that it had been, because I could read it without feeling bad. So it's actually one of the few translations that I've actually read out of my collection.
We said this last week with the Danish book. It's really hard to get a paperback spine outstanding. It's hard because if you make it well and you make it very tight, then it's maybe not necessarily as readable because it does crease and it.
Well, I don't know. I feel
folds,
like the smaller versions. So right now I'm holding a French book 1 junior folio, not the rainbow one, but just another junior folio, and it's a smaller book and it has a much floppier spine where you could easily hold it in one hand, tuck the cover behind, and that's what I like in a paperback. So I don't know. I think it's just this edition. I think maybe it's just because mine is tight. I don't know. It's an exceeds expectations though.
Depends on the glue too, because there's not a lot of give with the thinness of the color.
Right.
Like you just happen to get more glue in your book, it's just harder to open.
Yeah, that's also accurate.
All right, what's our next?
Quality, and I almost slipped and talked about this above because these books, the covers tend to rub insanely terribly. At least that's been my experience. So it is very easy. Going back to when you're trying to buy them on eBay, it's incredibly easy to they'll have a stock photo and they look to be in great condition, and then you buy it and it looks like it's been stepped on and maybe sat on by an elephant or troll. We're unsure. And it's very frustrating because they're just overall, especially the earlier books. I think the later books, when they realized, hey, this is something that's going to have some longevity. The earlier books, my first edition French Philosopher's Stone, terrible. And same for the second print Chamber of Secrets, for that matter. And my Chamber of Secrets that I have that is pretty worn without the sticker is an earlier print as well, and they don't stick up to long things, and it just literally, like I said, I read it, but it was already pretty well read, and it lives on my shelf for the most part, and I read it very carefully. So I've got to say troll for quality, at least of the ones that I have. They're not we're gonna say dreadful.
I was
troll
just gonna
is for worse.
I'm just going to give mine a pour. Like, it's, I don't know. I don't like how, I don't know. It's just not like a book. I feel like paperbacks need to be made well because those are the books that like people are grabbing paperbacks to read them. And I feel like this book just would not hold up well if someone was actually like reading this book. Mine's actually like in pretty good shape, but even that being said, it's not great shape. So
yours looks to be one of the nicer copies I've seen actually of Goblet. Goblet tends to be beat up for some reason, maybe just because it's thicker and the covers crease. Like you look at them wrong and they crease.
Yeah.
So that, I would have preferred better quality for these books because they really are so fun.
But I feel like what it lacks in quality, it makes up for in cover art because I always love the cover art of any of these French books. I'd give like an exceeds expectations to the cover art for this one. Talking about like our cover art rainbow before, this one is like red and orange tones, which is really nice. I love the 4 dragons on the front, kind of representing the different 4 dragons. It kind of is like a little bit of a spoiler, like if it's a Triwizard Tournament, why are there 4 dragons? Oh, maybe because Harry is in it too. I don't know. But I don't know. It's just fun. I feel like all of these French cover arts, they're always just very like fun and kind of whimsical. It's simple and bold, and it's an exceeds expectations from me, dog.
Okay. Well, and it's I appreciate when it's the same artist that does all 7 books, and this artist did all 7, like Mary Grand Pré, like
right.
You know, as the books came out, the art was created, and so even though the artist didn't necessarily know like the whole plot and what to pick out, there's still a very cohesive flow to how these books look on your shelf when you put them next to all the other French books, which I really like. I think we talk about the UK books a lot, but when you put them cover up, it's kind of like, huh?
Yeah.
Like the spines look awesome, but cover up, you're like, oh.
You can definitely tell different artists were involved.
Yeah, like individually they're all fun, but I personally prefer when there's like that nice cohesive flow to the art, and I agree with you, Melanie. Like the art of the French books, I just really love, which is why, you know, I bought the Room of Requirement set, which has even more art from this artist. So, just love it.
Well, it took me about 14 years to like the French cover art. I didn't like it at all. So much so that the first time I saw it, I was in, I don't know, some bookstore in Paris, and I was horrified. I talked about how much I did not like them. I would never buy them because I had friends who were like, oh, you like Harry Potter? Here you go. And I was like, well, who would want those? And apparently me now.
You now.
But,
you in the future.
Right. Future me is really upset with past me. I was apparently very wrong about many things that I now like. But at the time, I was doing very different things. And my art, I've always loved art. And it was just a very different idea of the art, like of how I thought Harry Potter should be represented. I'm not sure why. But now I really do appreciate them. I do like them. I think they add such a nice diversity to a really fun, like, to all the different covers of Harry Potter. They add a lot to it, I think. But it took me a long time to warm up to it, or to the covers in general. But back to ratings, I would say probably, I'm still going to go with acceptable plus. But at least it wasn't troll like original, like past me a long time ago.
Lots of improvement has happened.
Yeah, I've moved up. Like, they're still not in my favorites, but I also still appreciate that they exist. Like, I would be sad if they didn't.
Eric, did you give your score?
Factor?
Did I miss it?
Me? Oh, wait, I guess I can...
did you?
Outstanding. I love the French books.
All
outstanding.
Right, cool. Yeah, I was going to say, you can see the cover, so even if you don't have the book, you can still read it. I can see the
cover. Outstanding. Well, it's the same cover as the other ones, so...
There you go.
I love the art. But
X
now
Factor.
what, Melanie? Because I don't have this one. Yeah, X Factor.
X
What is
Factor.
it?
I mean, I would say my X Factor for this book is probably... I don't know. It's a toss-up for me between, like, the size and proportions of it. I honestly, I feel like it's going to be, for this specific book, it's the size and proportions. I love how wide this book is, with how tall it is, and it's just so cute. It's just a very good size and proportion book. I feel like that makes it adorable and outstanding. Also, I would say another X factor is, like, with these junior folios, I love the rainbow down the side. I think it's so cool.
Yeah, they're fun.
And the reason why
it's a fun accent on the show.
The reason why, like, I picked this for the translation of the show is because, you know, we did a whole rainbow episode, and these were the only rainbows that I was able to find. So I felt like had to be done. Love it.
Erik, what's your X factor?
Rainbow spine. Like, it's kind of an easy cop out, but, like, I love when the books on the shelf have something that looks different than the other ones. It's not just like a typical book spine with a title on them. I do like that.
You see this and you know that it's French.
It's easy to be like French.
Yeah.
Once you see that, you know that those are the French books. It's just very easy to pinpoint.
My X factor, I'm probably going to have to go with I don't know, this is very hard.
You can do it.
I'm probably going to have to say, like, I'll go with how it feels in my hand. I think it's great. I actually really enjoyed reading it. But mine had been also really well read, so but I enjoyed reading it. So, I'll say that.
Awesome. It's a great book.
Mm-hmm.
It is. Well done. Good pick.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Well done.
Well, speaking of well done, that is all the time we have on this episode of the Dialogue Alley podcast. Well done, you three.
Us three.
Us three. You two. Us three, I guess. It's just me, Melanie, Carly.
Eric's not mathing.
Pam, who's been just here quiet the whole time. Tommy, you can edit that out. I will do it again.
Well done.
I'm so tired.
Do you see me sitting here yawning? I'm like, and then I yawn, and then Erik yawns back at me, and I'm just like, I'm sorry.
And I have to go to work.
Thank you for joining us. That was super fun. Hooray for New York. All right. Okay, Tommy, edit back in. Well, I think that about does it for this episode of Dialogue Alley. So thank you so much for joining us for this special episode in which we created a book rainbow for Pride Month. I thought that was really fun.
Yeah.
And I mean, like I mentioned too, like people just in general, I've seen more and more of this happen, just organize books by color on their shelf. So like it was cool to kind of really focus on color today, which is always there, but really is very prevalent when you think about all the books in our collection and all the colors that are there. It's really cool to just focus on the color for once, which is cool. So if you would like to get in touch with us, we are around. I am on Instagram at Nocturne Erik. Carly is at All the Pretty Books. Melanie is at the Harry Potter Collection. There are some great websites to check out: alltheprettybooks.net, theharrypottercollection.com, and dialoguealley.com. You can hit us up on Twitter, dialogue_alley. We have a Facebook page. Melanie has a TikTok page, Magically Melanie, not Magically Melly. And Melanie already did a book rainbow on her TikTok, so you can check that out. You can also find us on MuggleNet. So if you go over to MuggleNet, there's us, we're there. And there's other stuff too, like great podcasts, great news, great content. So if you're looking for more Harry Potter stuff, go check us out on MuggleNet. We are a MuggleNet family podcast, and we love supporting all of the other creators that make content for their site. Also, it's really, really cool stuff that comes out. So go check out MuggleNet. You can also listen to our show wherever you're doing it right now. We are also on your smart speaker. I did that a couple days ago. I yelled at my Amazon Alexa to play our podcast because I wanted to see the new picture that Melanie put up there, and happened. So it's like magic.
Magic.
It's like magic, in real life. If you would like to support our show, you're already doing so by listening to us. Thank you so much. We are so glad that you are here and enjoying the show. But if you'd like to take it one step further, you can go to our Patreon and support us that way. So if you go to patreon.com/dialoguealley, you can support us on 3 different tiers, and you can get access to such things as our Discord, where we can talk about Harry Potter books and collecting with a great community of people. You can get ad-free episodes, bonus content, and some other fun surprises. So go check us out on that if you want to support us a little more. But the fact that you're here right now is really good enough for me and Carly and Melanie, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, with all of that being said, thank you so much for joining us. And it is time to walk back to the archway and into our daily lives. And we'll catch you next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
See ya.